Hello, I'm Blake Bradford, a member of the Conference Board of Ordained Ministry and Director of the Residency in Ministry program. Thank you so much for watching this training video. If you're watching this, you will be working with one of our ministry residents. You're either part of a pastor-parish relations committee or a supervisor who has an evaluative responsibility over one of the women or men who are seeking ordination in the United Methodist Church of Arkansas. Thank you so much for assisting the Board of Ordained Ministry and the Arkansas Annual Conference in this very important task. Before I talk about your particular role in the residency process that leads to ordination, allow me to give you a broad perspective on the Residency in Ministry, or RIM, process. First, what is the ordination process? Well, here are all the manuals. Somewhat frightening, isn't it? Luckily, while we United Methodists are excellent at creating rules, this process is really not about that. It is about relationships, evaluation, and discernment. The resident practices ministry and discerns her or his call. And on behalf of the conference, the Board of Ordained Ministry discerns and evaluates the effectiveness and fruitfulness of our residents. We get information from a variety of sources, including mentors, the district superintendent, and you, the staff parish relations committee or supervisory committee. To compare it to another vocation, residency in the United Methodist Church is similar to the time of residency in a physician's education. After a physician completes her education requirements in an internship, she will go to a teaching hospital to practice medicine under close supervision. After she has completed medical school, she's called doctor, but everyone knows that more experience and education is still required, especially for some specialties which may take several years. Now, in this comparison, our ministry residents have completed their educational requirements, which is usually a Master of Divinity or similar graduate degree. They have had field education or an internship, or maybe served as a licensed local pastor. They've been examined as to their call and gifts and fitness for ministry by different committees in the local church, district, and conference level. In the annual conference, they have been commissioned to ministry as a provisional elder or deacon. Now, under this time of residency, these men and women have been given the responsibility to practice ministry under supervision. This RIM process will last somewhere between 2 and 8 years. The Board of Ordained Ministry has set 3 goals for our residency program. First, to provide the board with evaluative tools necessary to gauge the effectiveness and fruitfulness of provisional ministers seeking ordination and full connection. Second, to assist provisional members in their transition into ministry. A few years ago, a clergy journal did some research and stated that the first 5 years of parish ministry set an entire ministry. The habits, inclinations, the dispositions, the way of understanding vocation is set in those first 5 years, and it lasts for years. So this second goal is to set the holy habits needed for a lifetime of effective ministry. The same study said that early success in ministry is crucial. Without that, burnout or other problems often show up in a few short years. So these early years with you are vital to set the entire trajectory of effective ministry. Third, to create opportunities for peer learning and support amongst the residents and small groups. Now, your work for nurturing and evaluating your resident will be a part of the overall residency process. For your resident, there are other requirements as well. We on the Board of Ordained Ministry wanted you to know a little bit more about what is expected of them by the annual conference. Throughout the residency period, which can last somewhere between 2 and 8 years, residents will be in an ongoing process. First, every summer, all the residents in the state are required to attend a week-long retreat created in a partnership with the Center for the Clergy and Laity Excellence in Leadership and the Board of Ordained Ministry. This should not be counted against vacation time or even continuing education time. This is a required event, and we have planned visits from members of the Cabinet, the conference staff, pastors, and congregational consultants. Our hope is that this retreat will not only be a spiritually enriching experience for our new clergy, but also a time where they can get more tools for their toolboxes to be more effective in ministry with you. Second, they will prepare assignments such as ministry projects, sermons, Bible studies, and theological papers for the Board of Ordained Ministry. For example, you might see a video recorder set up so the resident can film a sermon to send to the board. The next part is that every spring, the residents will gather for interviews where the board will question the resident over their materials and sermon videos, along with their evaluations from their district superintendents and you, the staff parish relations committee. Our hope is that through these different evaluations and interviews, that we on the board can get an accurate picture of the effectiveness and fruitfulness of each resident. And we can create a plan so that those who are not effective can become more fruitful in ministry. In addition to their summer retreat, the assignments, and the spring interviews, about every other month, groups of residents will meet in clusters around the state. Each group will have 2 Board of Ordained Ministry assigned mentors, and they will have an opportunity to coach and to guide one another in these early transitional years of ministry. They will pray together, share the joys and challenges of ministry in the United Methodist Church, and provide each other with support, accountability, and encouragement. These covenant peer groups are required for residents, and they are an integral part of our Wesleyan model for raising up new ministers. Missing just one means that the resident will miss out on a huge chunk of our process. So please give your resident the time to prepare and attend these extremely important meetings. That is the basic outline of the REM program. Please understand that these requirements are considered to be part of the job as an appointed resident. The time the residents take in our Board of Ordained Ministry peer group sessions and retreats is an important part of their overall ministry. It's not time away from you. It's time to reflect on their ministry with you and to be nurtured and involved in a continuing formation and educational process. The cost of time and money for these events are primarily borne by each resident, so please give them the room to fit these assignments and meetings into their schedule. Every ministry resident is a precious resource. Our denomination has already invested a huge amount of financial and human resources in bringing a provisional elder or deacon this far. By being appointed to your church or ministry setting, they have been given an enormous responsibility. The Board of Ordained Ministry has been given the task of evaluating the effectiveness of these residents. Without the participation of you in the resident's ministry setting, we cannot fulfill this duty. So, we thank you in advance for taking the time to help your resident make the difficult transition from the academy into congregational life. Your work today is a gift to the rest of the United Methodist Connection. In the meantime, have fun. Enjoy ministry together by serving Jesus side by side. And if you have any questions about the Residency and Ministry program of the Board of Ordained Ministry, you can contact me, Blake Bradford. Contact information is available from the conference office or from your resident. There's also a second training video concerning evaluation and ministry goals. I thank you for watching the second video. May God bless you and your ministry setting. Thank you very much.